Also on tonight's programme, at 7:20, the children as young as 8 stalked by the playground bullies in their own homes. We have the first research revealing just how widespread online bullying now is at primary school.
Someone that used to be my friend called me a black piggy. Go back to your farm because no one likes you.
An update now on the online social gaming site Habbo Hotel, which has been muted pending an investigation into this programme's revelations of explicit content in the presence of paedophiles. For a second day, users filled rooms in Habbo to protest both our investigation and the continued muting. Some avatars setting themselves on fire, others carrying signs that flash from the number 4 to a skull. The chief executive of Sulaki, the company that runs the site, said it was now working to create a safer and improved experience by putting in place the best-in-class moderation and detection systems. The Home Secretary said she was concerned by our findings.
Well, I'm aware of the work that Channel 4 has been doing on this, and this has raised a serious issue, and this is something that we do need to look into.
Well, we've been continuing our investigations into the activities of children's online, and new research given exclusively to this programme shows that online games raise issues for concern for young children. A report from the charity Beatbulluing suggests that 1 in 10 primary school children have experienced persistent bullying, and a third of these were targeted in online games. It's not a company in the spotlight. The report suggests parents should be doing much more, finding 2/3 are not supervising their children's online activities at all. In tonight's special report, Porrick O'Brien hears directly from children themselves.
Children love new technology. They make friends, they add friends, they unfriend, they get bullied. New research for Channel 4 News shows the scale of cyberbullying among primary school children. It's one of the first times they've been asked. It's the first time we've heard voices like this.
Someone that used to be my friend called me a black piggy. Go back to your farm because no one likes you. And my mum said to delete that person and don't speak to them, which is really hard because they're in my class. It made me feel upset because to know someone who does that, it just makes you feel bad.
He was my friend. I added him as a friend. And like a couple of days later, he just like started swearing at me. That was really confusing because I added him as a friend. I thought we would just like be actual friends.
Now, new research from the national charity Beatbulluing reveals how insidious cyberbullying is and how it affects younger and younger kids. The charity surveyed 1,500 children.
21% of 8 to 11-year-olds have experienced bullying online or via mobile phones. Of these, about half of them said it was persistent, ongoing, continuous, of quite a serious nature, which suggests that about 1 in 10 is a real problem for them.
Challis was just 7 when the playground bullying began. She's now 11.
It was name-calling and pulling my hair and pushing me, slapping me.
At 9, Challis got her first computer. Most of her class were social networking and she wanted to be part of it. Suddenly, what had been confined to the playground burst into her bedroom.
I saw this request, like, to join a chat. I went through it and they were calling me, like, a slag and a slut and things like that. I just didn't want to go on it anymore and it felt like my life was just being taken over by these people.
At least before, bullying had a time and place for Challis. Now it was everywhere else as well. Online, on her phone, multimedia. This was bullying, but bullying broadcast.
I just deleted it straight away, so I didn't want anyone to see it and I didn't want to read over it to make myself upset afterwards.
For Challis, the effects were devastating.
I was pretty much deliberately making myself ill through not drinking. On 1 or 2 occasions, I had to go to the hospital because it got that bad.
Challis's mum supported her, but at times it felt like a whole family was under assault. The impact of all-pervasive bullying on young children is the subject of a new piece of research by this world-renowned developmental psychologist. Children aged 11 or younger who are bullied are 6 times more likely to harm themselves.
They not only had an increased risk of depression or psychotic symptoms like hallucinations, but also they were more likely to think about killing themselves or self-harming themselves. And that is very rare in children before 12 years of age.
Did you come across children in that state of mind?
Yes, we came across children at the young age of 11 who had actually made plans that they wanted to harm themselves with the intention to die.
The bullies have always been with us. The new weapons in their armoury haven't. And that opens up a whole new frontier in parenting.
There seems to be a lack of parental involvement or parental responsibility in and around their child's online safety, with only 1 in 3 saying that they've ever talked to their parents about being safe online or how to behave online.
Challis's family, with the help of a beat-bullying mentor, rallied round. And slowly, bit by bit, she's building up the defences she needs to face down the bullies.
I'm just trying to accomplish as much as I can to so when I'm older, I can just say, you know what, that did happen, but I've come through so much since then, and I can just say there was really no point in doing all of it because it's just made me stronger.
Well, joining me now is 11-year-old George-Luca Lopez Nunn, who is a victim of bullying and is now an anti-bullying ambassador for the Diana Award charity, and by Ross Hendry. He's the Director of Policy at the Office of the Children's Commissioner and the Chairman of the Anti-Bullying Alliance. And I should say, George, that your mum's in the control room, so if I start bullying you, she'll be in here like a shot.
Yeah.
So let me just ask you about how you were bullied at primary school.
Well, when I was in primary school, I used to get bullied because I didn't have the technology like PS3, computer, and basically what I done was I just ignored it because I realised I don't need it. I just need to work
When you say
hard.
you were bullied physically or online?
Oh no, none of that. I was just bullied because I didn't have the technology.
The technology. You didn't have a little iPhone or anything like that?
Yeah, iPhone to text me or all that. And so when I joined secondary school, Alex Holmes convinced me to be an anti-bullying ambassador.
And who was Alex Holmes?
Alex Holmes is one of these anti-bullying ambassadors, and he's a leader of one of them. And he goes around helping.
And he asked you to join and be an ambassador because you'd experienced it. And what does that mean? You go around schools warning kids about bullying or what?
Basically, we try in our school, when people have a problem, they go up to us and they tell us what their problem is, and we just go and solve it from there.
How did you talk to your mum about, or your dad indeed? I mean, did you talk to your parents about you being bullied, or did you keep it to yourself?
Yeah, I did actually keep it to myself. I was just a bit afraid to tell.
You thought there was something wrong with you?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But then I realised.
What changed it all? What changed it all?
Well, I just realised I do not need that technology. I just need to be good behaved and smart.
So, Ross Hendry, I mean, your job in a way is to go around and talk to parents and tell them to look for what?
Yes, well, I mean, our job at the Office of the Children's Commissioner is to primarily speak to people like George-Luca and understand what's going on, and then talk to the government as well as parents about what children are experiencing and what needs to be done as a result. And there's 2 issues here. One is the regulation that the government has to undertake, and for law and legislation to keep pace with technology and what's developing in cyberspace.
Well, I mean, give me a sort of idea of one thing that might be very obvious to a parent, I mean, that perhaps George's mum might have spotted.
Well, I mean, the really shocking thing from the report that was published today is that 2/3 of parents don't actually look and monitor and talk to their children about what they're doing online. So George-Luca, I know, has great parents who take a lot of interest in what you do, don't they, George-Luca?
Yeah.
Well, actually 2/3 of parents just let their children do whatever they want online. The first thing is be aware and know that cyberspace, there are lots of not very nice people out there.
Well, do you have the technology now? Do you go out there into any of the social networks?
Well, no, because for Facebook, you have to be 13 and I'm 12, so if I actually do join, it won't be until I'm the appropriate age.
Do you play computer games?
Yeah, sometimes, but I don't do it with other people. I just play it by myself and play this sort of
But aren't you rather unusual in that? Don't you find most of your friends are on Facebook, whether they're 12 or not?
Yeah, but they're, yeah, I know, but sometimes they just don't like following the rules. Whereas I'm just going to follow the rules, and when I'm older, I'll go on Facebook and Twitter.
You sound dangerously well behaved.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, are you a goody-goody?
Yes, I am.
I mean, that's a bit sad in a way, because, I mean, that is perhaps a cause for bullying. I mean, it's a terrible thing, isn't it?
Absolutely,
I mean, kids that are not goody-goodies or not very well behaved may resent good behaviour.
And I think the dangerous thing about cyberbullying is that in traditional forms of bullying, physical or emotional or verbal, it's normally the big bully against the small person. Of course, in cyberspace, there is no big versus small physically, so you don't know who is bullying you. It's about the power of what access, what technology they have. So it's really important to be aware as a parent and to support and talk to your children about how they can help.
George-Luca, give me just a goodbye thought for any 11-year-old looking in, same age as you. What would your big advice be?
Well, firstly, if someone's being rude to you, I just ignore it for the first 2 times. But if it starts coming out of hand, tell someone you trust, or you can tell an anti-bullying ambassador if you know one. But the main thing is to do, if you're like on some sort of website, there's always a place where you can report someone, and then...
And you should.
Yeah, and that's what you should do.
George-Luca, I'm really grateful to you for coming in, and you, Ross, Hendry, thank you both very much indeed. We're all learning. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Kathy.
Well, if you're a parent or a head teacher who's concerned about this issue, you can go for advice on our website about what to do and where to turn for help.